The 2024 season closed on a high note. Max Verstappen winning the championship in Las Vegas and McLaren winning the major championship. That's the Constructors' Championship in Abu Dhabi. They were able to lead Ferrari by 14 points, which shows how tight it was at the top. It was not only at the top as it has been in the last 2 years, but this one was more tighter. And we saw battles until the end of the season. The Ferrari came out strong. McLaren did theirs. But Red Bull was leading and they fell off the cliff because they brought up a car that later was not competitive. But unfortunately, McLaren and Ferrari came to the rescue to give us a wonderful season. Mercedes did their best, but they're still not on par with those three teams. I think next year, with Kimi Antonelli and George Russell, Mercedes should be able to give us a wonderful season, hopefully. But we've not been able to bring you our full analysis. Most of you have not watched it. Please go and watch the full analysis. But let me give you a recap of what happened in the year. Verstappen had a blast in the year. When the car fell off the cliff, he was still churning out consistent qualifying, consistent races, and he was up there. Though he was unable to win as many races as he should during the course of the season, but he was consistent. His teammate Sergio Perez is out of Red Bull, but was unable to cope with the car when it has not fallen off, and when it fell off, it was nowhere to be found. It was off totally. Even it went off more than the car, and I believe he need a year rest to reset and get back from Formula 1. Probably if any team like Cadillac GM. But sincerely, Sergio Perez is a terrific driver. He's a very wonderful driver, but being with Max Verstappen in Red Bull is a huge ask for him. The modification and development of the car was not suited to his driving style, so he fell off. Now to Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton has left Mercedes and is on his way to Maranello in Italy to join the Ferrari team. Now, joining the Ferrari team is a good thing for him. His first day in Ferrari will be broadcasted live like we've heard. But Lewis Hamilton is doing for some terrific things behind the scene. Aside from trying to bring Formula 1 to Africa, he's also trying to make sure the diversification of the sport is more balanced, because there are not much black in as drivers, though we are now having blacks as technicians, engineers, IT support in Formula 1, but he wants more diversity, and has taken that diversity into motorsport. What motorsport am I talking about? I'm talking about KTM. That is the biking aspect of motorsport, in which Liberty Media are trying to buy some part of it, but Lewis Hamilton is saying he wants to have a team to make sure that there's diversity in ownership of team, and also he wants to be a part of the contributors to the bike motorsport in the world. And this has been a huge talk. He's been holding huge talks with teams and with corporations or organizers of the motorsport organization on that, and I think that should work well for him to get a team in biking. He has the Mission 44, the electric racing. He's doing a lot in F1, and going to Ferrari, having much money, and probably Ferrari are able to produce a car that would be able to give himself and Charles Leclerc a snippet or a sniff of the championship. I believe what Lewis Hamilton needed for now is having a car that has a purpose, a car that has a mission, a car that has a vision of having an opportunity to win the championship. I think he will deliver. I think that's what he needs. And going to Ferrari, will Ferrari be able to give him that? Let me quickly go to that. Ferrari have said that they are going to make sure they change every aspect of the car. Only 1% of the 2024 car will be in 2025. Is it possible for them to do that? I think it's possible, but would they have a 1%? I believe no. The only 1% I think they are thinking will be like 10%, which is the engine, and they can do some tune-ups to the engine to make the engine much more faster. So I think this will give them an opportunity to compete. But changing the car totally will be a different thing, because Red Bull changed the car totally in 2024, and what happened to them? They fell off the cliff. McLaren also said they're changing the car totally. What will happen? We don't know yet. Will they be able to sustain? Will they not make the same mistake Red Bull made? Mercedes also said they're changing the car totally, but they will still leave the car in black. Maybe they're still missing Lewis Hamilton a little bit, but we can't say yet. Red Bull are going to reinvent an RB21, which will be a different car. Now, falling off the cliff, would they have learned and be able to build a new car that is different from RB19 and RB20 to exert a dominance in 2025? Let us wait till the first race, though the reveal of the car will start coming in from late January to late February. But let's see what they can do. I believe all these teams know what they are doing and they have a good sleeve in their pocket. Aston Martin coming fifth in the championship. They said yes, they know what they had to lose, so they fell off totally because they could not compete again. So they fell off totally and masterfully. But will this team be able to bring up a huge competition, a huge saving, a huge opportunity for them? Because Andre Newey will not be starting the season with them. But I believe Andre Newey would have done a lot of construction, worked with a lot of engineers behind closed door to build that 2025 car for them. That cannot be a lie. He can not only be in the factory, can only work with. Does that stop him from drawing? No. Does that stop him from working in his home? No. In his gardening leave, I believe he would have been working, looking at what they need to do for Aston Martin to be back in contention. Also, Alpine, Flavio Briatore has said that 2025-2026 will be a season of balance for them, but by 2027-2028, they want to be in contention for championship. They will still prefer to come 6th in 2025 and 2026, which means they are trying to learn. So McLaren will move fully into their own simulation and development center. Meanwhile, Aston Martin has moved fully fully into theirs, so the development can move on. And 2026, remember, Aston Martin is going back to under, but let's see how that works for them. Now, Brembo Disc has been a talk of the town in 2024, especially with other teams. They are breaking, especially with Red Bull, and now it worked on Red Bull. But unfortunately, McLaren won with AP manufacturers. AP manufactured their brake disc, which is different from Brembo. They were the only one that had a different view from what every other person was having in 2024. So let's see what they are bringing up to the competition and how it will affect or make them much more stronger or much more firmer in 2025. I believe with AP, they might be able to still challenge, because braking power is also a very strong thing that is needed in F1, because if you have a powerful braking system, then you can do a whole lot of things, because if you can get the car to stop where you need it to stop, that's beautiful. But Brembo is doing a good job, but because other teams switch to AP, because when you see that somebody won with this, you're looking at, should I switch to it, should I not switch to it? But let's see what they will do. Moving from Lewis Hamilton and McLaren, Brouhaha and Wahala, we move to George Russell. George Russell will now be leading Mercedes. Will he be able to lead Mercedes well with a new young kid coming in, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, which I believe the first two races might not suit him, but in the next race, if he gets his balance, it will put George Russell under a lot of pressure. Andrea Kimi Antonelli has the vibe of a young Lewis Hamilton and the ability and the tigerness of Max Verstappen. That's why I kept on saying during the season that will it be possible in 2026, if Max Verstappen is possible to leave Red Bull, will he be partnering Kimi Antonelli in Mercedes? But with these two young chaps, let's see how they will be able to put the Formula One world in a great instance, because I believe these two young guys are going to push themselves. I mean, George Russell and Kimi Antonelli, the 10-year-old boy and the 25 or 26-year-old boy, trying to do a great job for Mercedes. Now, from Mercedes, we move to McLaren, Piastri and Norris. Piastri had a great season in 2024, but will he be able to up it and put his teammate Lando Norris under pressure? Now, the car will be a different car, will be a more suited car to him. He's now more settled in the team, spending 2 years. So will he be able to put Lando Norris under pressure? Will they be able to give them a car to do the wonders they did in 2024? Also, will they be suited to present something more similar, something more crazier? And will they be suited for the championship in 2025? Remember, Ferrari were close knitted to them. Ferrari also brought some upgrades from race 2 after the middle of the season. They did some beautiful upgrades to the car right in Italy, and that car went berserk, as in it was performing. It was not in the performance level of the McLaren. So let's see what McLaren will be able to do with the new car they are bringing and their drivers. Lewis Hamilton partnering with Charles Leclerc in Ferrari will be another banger. We saw their races with Mercedes, with Lewis Hamilton's Mercedes and Charles Leclerc Ferrari in some part of the season in 2024. But now they will both be in red. Will they be able to give us what Sainz and Leclerc were able to do? Would they touch? Would they not touch this? You know, I know Lewis Hamilton is matured and Charles Leclerc is matured. They will be able to give us beautiful racing. Who will be the faster driver in qualifying? Will Lewis Hamilton take his form from 2024 in Mercedes to Ferrari, or will he up his form? Because like we said, if you have a good qualifying car and a good racing car, be able to deliver. Remember in 2024, he had the bad qualifying, but in races, he was just out of this world. He was up there. And in the final race, he delivered a stellar race to tell Mercedes that this is what you guys are missing. I'm still up there. It's just that this car cannot compete. But let's see if we'll do that in Ferrari. Moving from Ferrari, we move to Alpine. They've said they are coming in strong this season. They are looking at 6th. The probability is they're looking at 5th, because they believe Aston Martin may not be able to compete with them. If you look at the last 5 races of the season, they were ahead of Aston Martin. Though Aston Martin said they are pulled off, they are not working in contention to qualify or to push themselves, but they are just in a frame of mind of having a car that can just see them through the season. So at 2025, they'll be able to bring a faster and better car. Now, Alpine will be having Pierre Gasly and Jack Doohan. Will Pierre Gasly and Jack Doohan be able to do the job? Jack Doohan looks like he's under pressure, because everybody is saying if Jack Doohan cannot deliver, Franco Colapinto will be able to take his seat. But will Jack Doohan be able to deliver? Will he be able to match the speed of his teammate in the person of Pierre Gasly? He's a rookie, one of the youngest rookies, so let's see what they are doing. So Aston Martin, they still maintain the same pairing. Lance Stroll, for me, is having a lifetime signing. Maybe even if he's 50, he'll still be racing for Aston Martin. He's having the same pairing alongside his teammate Fernando Alonso. I can't say much about them, but let's see what they do in 2025, because 2024 was not a good season for Aston Martin. They just fell off, and they fell badly. So VCAP, Chris Horner said Isaac Kaja will be coming in, and you all know he'll be coming in. And coming in for him, he said Isaac Kaja was few tenths faster than Yuki Tsunoda. And I'm like, well, yeah, all these rookie drivers always push themselves, and you see them some few tenths faster. And remember, this is a test. It's not that we have a lot of cars on the track trying to set times or scamper for times. They are not under pressure to set times. He was driving under a cooler condition to set his time, so he might be faster. Meanwhile, the same Yuki Tsunoda was looking looking like some few tenths faster than Max Verstappen during the test. So for me, I don't see any sense in saying these drivers are fast now until we get to the track in 2025. Let's see what Isaac Kaja will be able to do. But it's just a sorry thing that Yuki Tsunoda is unable to move to senior team Red Bull. But I believe Danga will be there. He would see what they can do, and they will be looking at putting him possibly in Fernando Alonso's seat in 2026 when Aston Martin will be moving fully to under engine, which we know they are moving into. So let's see how the performance will be for Isaac Kaja and Yuki Tsunoda, especially Yuki Tsunoda in 2025 season. Also moving from that to move to Williams. The Williams team, Alex Albon partnering with Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz is a big qualifier, is a good racer. What experience is he bringing to Williams? Because I believe he will still have a possibility of taking a seat in Ferrari or any big team in future because of what he has done in Formula One. So he's not just sitting in probably that seat and be like, yeah, it's all gone for him, it's all over. I believe he's going to bring some experience, maximum experience, especially working on another Mercedes engine like he did with McLaren. He'll be able to bring a bunch of experience and a bunch of goodies to Williams. And I believe there'll be an improvement in Williams because these two drivers, Alex Albon and Carlos Sainz, are two tigers. They want to fight it all. They want to give their best. So let's see what they are able to bring to the team. Moving on from there, we move to the new boys, exactly perfect new boys on the grid. We are talking about the AS team. And in the AS team, we are going to be having Oliver Biermann partnering with Esteban Ocon. I've said that earlier in the season, and I'll say it again. Esteban Ocon partnering with Oliver Biermann is going to be one of the worst pairing because Oliver Biermann may not be able to cope with Esteban Ocon's aggressiveness, his anger, his pushiness. But let's see if Oliver Biermann can bring something to the table. We saw him drive the Ferrari twice in 2024 and we saw his performance. So let's see what he'll be able to bring to the AS team and how AS will be able to perform with him in 2025. Moving straight to Sauber. Sauber team. The Sauber team had the worst season in 2024. But now they're having a pairing of Nico Hülkenberg. I think Nico Hülkenberg, the only team he has not raced for is Red Bull. Yeah, Red Bull, Mercedes and Ferrari. That guy has moved through all other teams and VCAP. He has moved through all other teams. He's now in Sauber. I know the funny thing, Nico Hülkenberg is a very, very good driver. He's a terrific driver. And you'll be partnering a rookie also on the block. I believe Nico Hülkenberg's job in Sauber, I mean Audi, is not just because he's a German, but it's to bring a bunch of experience from everywhere he has worked with to that Sauber team to help them to develop a better car, a faster car, and they'll be using Porsche engine in 2026. So let's see what they're able to do. But in 2025, they're still using the Ferrari engine. So let's see what they're able to do with Nico Hülkenberg and his teammate. But I believe it's going to be a wonderful season for them. Pairing because Nico Hülkenberg will drive this young chap, though he has a lot to learn. But Nico Hülkenberg will be able to drive him and make him better. And let's see if he still has some juice in him to put into Sauber. And also the young chap coming in will be able to deliver. I'm talking of somebody in the sense of Bortoleto who will be able to deliver for the underwhelming Sauber team. They had a very, very worst 2025 season. But if they can deliver and put some maximum pushing into the Sauber team, we might see a very, very tight midfield in 2025 and a very, very tight big teams in 2025. But up until new videos that you will see, the cars livery. I'm still your host, Exon Racing. I love you guys. Bye. Cheers.